The storms that we go through in life can only overtake us if we take our eyes off Jesus. Today we are going to be reading about the miracle of Jesus walking on water. This is recorded in 3 different Gospels: Matthew 14, 22 through 33, Mark 6, 45 through 52, and John 6, 16 to 21. Open your Bibles and buckle up because we have a lot to get through, and I'm going to talk really, really fast. Little bit of background on what's happening right before Jesus walks on water is we see the miracle of Jesus feeding the 5,000. So these disciples are probably on somewhat of this spiritual high. They're seeing oh my gosh, he just fed all these people. But Jesus immediately after puts them in a boat and sends them across the Sea of Galilee. Why does he do this? We learn in John that he does this because after the feeding of the 5,000, the people were so amazed, and it says Jesus knew that they intended to come and make him king by force, and he didn't want that. So he sent the disciples across the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus withdrew and went and prayed by himself. Now, I'm a visual learner, so I have a map here. This is Galilee in the time of Jesus. The feeding of the 5,000 happens over here on this side of the Sea of Galilee, and they're going all the way over to Capernaum, so they have to cross the entire Sea of Galilee, and it might not look that big, but it's 8 miles across. Matthew 14:23 says, after he had dismissed them, he went up the mountainside by himself to pray. Jesus. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. So Jesus is on land praying, and the boat is in the middle of the Sea of Galilee in the night in a huge storm. Now, okay, I really want you to think about this. They're not in some high-tech boat with lights and all these things. No, they're in a little wooden boat in the middle of the night with no lights during a storm. That's pretty intense, right? In Mark 6:48, it says that Jesus saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. Right there, we see miracle number 1, and I want to take a second to talk about it. It is the middle of the night. It is dark. They are miles out, and Jesus from land can see them. What? We're back in Matthew now. Matthew 14:25 says, shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. Miracle number 2. Jesus walks on water. I know the name of this section kind of gave away that miracle, but oh my gosh! 26, when the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. Really think about this. It is right before dawn, so it is still dark outside. Huge storm, middle of the Sea of Galilee, and they see someone walking on the water towards them. You would also think that that's a ghost. I know I would be it would be so scary. 14:27 says, but Jesus immediately said to them, take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. And then Peter responds, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water. So 10 seconds ago, he's like, oh my gosh, it's a ghost. And then he's like, if it's you, just tell me to walk out on the water. Just tell me to do it. Come, he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on water, and came toward Jesus. Miracle number 3, Peter is able to get out of the boat and walks on the water towards Jesus. Oh my gosh. It is still storming. The waves are crashing. There's probably lightning and rain. I don't know. I wasn't there. I just know that there was a storm. So he's looking towards Jesus, but when he saw the wind, he was afraid. Beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me. Peter gets out of the boat. He's walking towards Jesus. His eyes are on Jesus. All is good. This is amazing. And then he sees the storm. And the second he takes his eyes off Jesus, he starts to go down. Before you judge Peter because he took his eyes off of Jesus, I really want to ask you, how many times have you gotten out of the comfort of your boat into the storm because of something Jesus told you to do? For me, not that many. 14:31 says, immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. You of little faith, he said, why did you doubt? If he just kept his eyes on Jesus, nothing bad would have happened, but he got distracted by all the scary things happening around him. And so he started to go down, and Jesus said, you were fine. You were looking at me. Why did you start to doubt me? Why did you start to doubt that I can get you through this? 32 says, and when they climbed in the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. We see right after this storm happens that immediately the disciples grow in their faith, and they're able to say, you are the Son of God. They were coming out of watching the feeding of the 5,000, this amazing spiritual blessing, but spiritual blessings have to be balanced with burdens and battles so that we're able to grow as Christians. The biggest thing that I want you to take from this story is that the storm can only overtake you if you take your eyes off Jesus and start to notice all of the scary things happening around you. The second important thing that I really want you to see here is that Jesus saw the storm that they were in and immediately went to help them. He sees your struggle, he sees what's happening to you, and he wants to help you through it, and he will come and rescue you. And I said this in one of my last Bible studies, but it's so important that sometimes the reason we get into a storm is because we're obeying Jesus. Jesus knew this storm was going to happen, and he sent them into it anyways because he knew that he could save them. If you are in a season of storm and stress right now, keep your eyes on Jesus because he brought you there, and since he brought you into it, he's going to bring you out of it. If you keep your eyes on him, that storm will not be able to overtake you.